Yeah, so I think we've done a good job here. This was our fourth practice. We've had really good energy, really good effort. Going back to our winter conditioning, we have 9 mid-year freshmen that got here in January that should still be in high school, and we have about 15 transfers that we welcomed into our program. And really, they've done a really good job of just buying into our culture. Coach Shu had them for the winter. They worked. We didn't have really any issues at all with guys just, kind of melting into the program and becoming us, which is what we want. So, it's fun to start football. Again, just because you're good in the weight room doesn't mean you're going to be good in football and have energy and all that. But we've had 4 good days, a lot of new faces out there. So it's a work in progress as far as the schemes. We put a lot on them early, and I think just as long as we keep attacking the day with energy and effort, that's what we want every single day consistently. And we got to just work on that consistency. With that, I'll leave it open to questions here.
Evan Johnson, WOUB. What was your main focus coming into spring? What was the message to the guys? What are you looking to achieve this spring?
Yeah, I think the message was, we got to be a fundamentally sound, good football team. So the schemes will take a little bit more time, but just, we got to be able to run the ball. We got to be able to stop the run. And we want to be a physical team. So preaching the physicality, the fundamentals, just simple body position, getting off blocks, blocking guys. And then getting these, we're going to have a lot of new starters on offense. So getting them familiar with what our offense is and how we call plays and do different things. So it's really twofold. We want to get the fundamentals down, and then, we still have some more time after spring ball to get the scheme, but we want to hear, especially in the next week or so, really hone in and not have as many mistakes.
I'm trying to fill out with the Post. It's not too far removed from the UNLV win and you being hired as head coach. Just what have the last 3 months been of the offseason for you as a first-time head coach?
It's been great. It's been a lot of new stuff. Working with different people. My job now extends across campus into different people, so it's been good to meet. There's a lot of support for us on campus and in the community for football, so getting out to meet some of those people has been cool and rewarding, to meet the people that support us, and I think just trying to get a bigger bird's eye view instead of I've been a coordinator for a long time and a position coach, so I was always pretty zeroed in on that aspect, and now just taking a step back and trying to be more of a big picture overall, and letting my coaches coach too. That was, I think the key things were, the portal opened right away, so we had a couple weeks of identifying talent, getting the kids in our program we wanted, and then it was hiring coaches as well. So we got some new coaches that was a long part of these 3 months, was just finding the right people, players and coaches, to bring into our program.
Coach, what type of culture are you trying to bring into this program as head coach? Are you trying to keep kind of the same culture, or are you going to try to build a different one?
Yeah, I think that's one of the great things about being on the staff and being retained and being elevated to the head coach is we have a good culture. We got kids that know how to do it the right way, on and off the field, and I think that's why we brought in so many new guys, and again, we vet those guys and we know who they are coming in, but I think that's why that transition was so easy, because our guys are bought into doing the right things in the building, on campus, off the field. So no, I'm definitely not looking to change a ton from a culture standpoint. I think culture is something that you got to work every day. I think you can lose it really fast. So I think just maintaining that culture every day and trying to even improve on that is what I'm trying to do, not start from scratch at all. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm up here with the Post. Obviously, you've mentioned change a couple of times. Any head coaching hire or an elevation in your case will bring change. Is there anything that you have or are looking to implement moving forward in your first year as head coach here?
I mean, I think there's stuff you got to make decisions every day, and I'm conscious of how we've done things, and I think I tell our players this. I always want them trying to get better, and I think that's my mindset too. I don't think you do things just because you've done them a certain way. I think you ought to always be trying to find the best way to do things, and that's why hiring people on my staff and having a staff of really qualified guys and getting together and finding out what's best for this group. And I think that's what I think about day to day is I know how we've done it, and there's a lot of good to that, and we do a lot of that. And then, what's best for this group and how can we improve our program as a coaching staff, not just we're always harping our players get better. And I think, as the head coach, it's my job to keep pushing the needle with the staff and how we operate and things and just continue to get better.
Grant Keeper, WAB. I mean, this program has been lucky these last few years to have consistency at quarterback. Obviously, a lot of change this year. Do you have a starter? And just what are your overall thoughts? Being able to evaluate the position.
Yeah, I think we got guys competing. I know Nick Paulus has sat behind Parker for a few years and is anxious to prove himself, and I think he's a very capable quarterback. We brought in a transfer from New Hampshire, Matt Vezza, that has played a lot of football and has really done a good job coming in and learning our system quickly. And then we got a freshman, we got Levi Davis, who came mid-year. We got Hype Grand, who's kind of in the mix. We got Jacob back. We got some quarterbacks right now, and they're all a little different, and they all kind of bring their own thing to the table, which is exciting for Coach Izzy to kind of mold that offense with those guys. But it's wide open competition, like a lot of spots in our team. Obviously, quarterback is the one we're going to talk about the most. But I think it's definitely wide open, and we're going to continue to evaluate it. I don't know that we'll have a starter off of 15 practices. It's just hard to do. We got the summer, and then we obviously have training camp. So right now it's just a competitiveness and having those guys get a million reps this spring and see what they can do.
Last question.
Cam Robertson, Athens Messenger. Obviously, you're only a few sessions into spring ball, but just, what are some of the biggest takeaways you've seen from the guys out on the field, whether it just be kind of general things, position groups that have stuck out, or, just any sort of that stuff?
Yeah, I like how we practice. I like the energy and the intent we have. As an overall, I see guys that want to be coached. I like that. I think we have kids that they want to hear what their coach has to tell them after the play. I won't get into too many of the position specific groups. Just I think 4 days want to kind of see how we're doing here in another week. But been pleased with a lot of the transfers we brought in, just how they're operating and just speed, and I feel like we hit on a lot of the guys just as far as at least from a physical standpoint, they fit in pretty good with what we do, and I think in our conference we'll be just fine.